How to get your first vacant land deal in under 2 weeks. What is up guys, Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you step by step how you can get your first vacant land deal so you can go out here and wholesale vacant land lots with less competition, more wholesaling deals, and honestly, doing wholesaling the way that most people on YouTube do not want you to know. So your first question, like, whoa, everything you usually talk about, Zach, is about wholesaling regular homes, regular houses. Why are you talking about wholesaling vacant land? What's up with that? What's the difference? And what I want you to know is the majority of wholesaling real estate is done through regular houses. The honest truth is, the reason why I talk about it, you're making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on these type of deals. But there is another niche inside of wholesaling real estate that is not talked about at all, or they're in these crazy $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 coaching programs. But you can actually wholesale regular vacant pieces of land. They can either be lots, just general land plots in general, or in all these other things. And you can make a hefty payday on these. Like, these are deals, if you get in the high ARV areas, you can make over 6 figures on a wholesaling deal. Usually you're gonna make it between $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, but most wholesalers aren't going after these, and it's a great little niche to do. Now, I will say this, I'm not telling you to be a full-time land wholesaler. That is not what I'm telling you to do. This is like basketball. I'm just showing you how to get really good at shooting three-pointers. I'm not saying you should only be a three-point shooter, but if you can add that on top of your wholesaling game you're doing now, it can launch you to make more money in wholesaling real estate, and especially you starting out right now, land your first wholesaling deal, because it's actually a really easy and simple process. The reason why wholesaling vacant land is so great is you really don't have the big headaches and BS of dealing with regular houses. There's really no crazy inspections. There's a lot less drama and emotional attachment with the piece of real estate. And probably one of my personal favorites, there's no crazy ARV or comp calculations. You kind of just ask the buyer what they're gonna buy it for, get that as an MAO, and then lock the deal up. It's just a way more simple process than wholesaling regular houses. I would personally say the biggest con to wholesaling vacant land right now is gonna be you're just not gonna do as many deals wholesaling vacant land as you would do with wholesaling houses. But that's okay. You're gonna make less three-pointer shots and you're gonna make dunks or layups, but that is fine. We can just add that on top of what we're doing here and we're gonna be absolutely fine. There are other cons. It is harder to find buyers for vacant land than it is to find buyers for homes. Pretty much because if I buy a house, I can either rent it out and start producing cash flow as soon as possible, or I can fix it up, flip it for a profit. It's a lot harder to do that with land. So you're probably excited. You probably wanna start wholesaling your first vacant land deal and you're like, oh my gosh, Zach, how do I start? How do I get this deal? How do I find these deals, right? And that's the exact same way I think. So let's get straight into it. Now, you probably think, oh my gosh, I gotta go straight to the deal, get it locked up as soon as possible, and then boom, I can go get the deal, right? Well, no. The first thing we actually need to do here is find the buyer for the piece of land. Now, remember what I said in the beginning, it's way harder, a million times more difficult to find a buyer for vacant land than it is just to find a vacant land deal. Vacant land deals, again, another pro, it's actually pretty easy to get them under contract. The big con is finding an actual buyer for this. And so kind of like eating your vegetables as a kid, we're gonna do the difficult things starting out as a beginner, and then we're gonna go find the deal. Now, when it comes to vacant land wholesaling, there's 3 types of cash buyers out here: developers, land bankers, and builders. Let's kind of break down the differences. Developers are looking to buy the piece of land and develop a nice big piece of real estate. Sometimes they want to build a crazy farm, a factory, a manufacturing process, maybe a restaurant. Whatever it is, they want to buy it and then build something on top of that's going to be amazing and big and awesome. Sometimes they want to hold it, rent it out, do all these things. They're just looking to develop something. This is great if you're looking to buy something and maybe the city wants to take it over. I've actually had people do that. They want to build some crazy commercial storage facility, some crazy development project. Developers are looking to buy deals like that all the stinking time, and they're actually really easy to get in contact with. The next type of cash buyer here are what we call land bankers. And land bankers aren't particularly my favorite type of buyer, but there are those type of buyers out there that like to buy a piece of vacant land and just hold it, and hopefully it appreciates up in value. These are like waterfront properties in a nice downtown area that is hopping and it's gonna go up more in value. There are those type of investors out there, but they're usually not the ones that we want to wholesale to, because they're not gonna pay the most compared to the developers and the other type of buyers. Then last but not least, probably your most common type of buyer is going to be your builder. And your builder is just going to want to buy the piece of land, build a house, and then sell that house, make money, and go on to the next deal. Problem with this type of buyer though is they want to have a deal where the plumbing's usually on there, right? Maybe there's a septic tank, maybe there's some sewer, maybe we can get the electricity connected right, maybe it's by civilization so I can sell the deal. Nobody wants to buy a house when there's not a local grocery store 40 miles away, right? They want to do something where there's some civilization in the natural city, in an actual inside of the city limits. The best type of deals like this are what they call infill lots. And the only way to really explain this in a really beginner term is usually when it's house, vacant land, house, and you can buy that vacant land inside and then build a house on top of that, and it looks just like a regular comp. What you do to find these type of buyers is, my favorite way is just go to listrei.com, listrei.com. That is going to give you a 7-day free trial to PropStream, the best software out here for real estate wholesaling and real estate investing. And you can just go to the cash sales tab, filter by vacant land, and find every single person in your city and county for the last 90 days that have bought pieces of land for cash. We're gonna call them up and say, hey, I saw you bought 123 Main Avenue, that piece of land for cash. Are you looking to buy any more pieces of land for cash? I'm actually a wholesaler. And it's pretty simple. Either they wanna buy more land or they don't. And if they do, ask them some questions, see if they're okay with you assigning the contract for the piece of land, okay with you using your title company, and really ask the questions we need you to ask in our checklist in freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course. On top of that too, you're gonna need to ask for their buy box. What's a buy box? It's really gonna be a criteria of the type of land they're looking. There's definitely a million ways and types of land you can wholesale. There's vacant lots, infill lots, properties that are good for putting mobile homes on there, great vacation type places, great storage facilities that have the potential for that. There's different types of land out here, and you just gotta ask your buyer what type of land they're looking to do. Now, I'll personally tell you the majority of these land cash buyers are going to want to buy land that they can build on top of. And so that's really gonna be the biggest criteria for you. Maybe there's a road there already, maybe some pavement going on, and they can just buy the piece of land, start putting a house on there, and make a profit. The cool part about that buy box is they usually have a very set criteria on how much they pay per quarter acre. So locally here in Port St. Lucie, a lot of builders where I know, they want to pay anywhere between $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, even $40,000 for a quarter acre lot, depending on the location. And that's usually what they buy them for. They don't really care too much about comps and things like that. So maybe one city, it's like, I'll give you $20,000 for a quarter acre lot, which is pretty cool. The reason is we can use that as arbitrage, which means when I go and find a seller who wants to sell their piece of land and they want to sell it for $10,000 and my buyer wants to buy it already for $20,000 a quarter acre, I immediately know I can make $10,000 in an assignment fee with that type of deal. It's $10,000 every single time. That is amazing. Other ways you can find vacant land buyers, you can cold call local builders in the area. So just search home builders, Houston, Texas, start calling these people up and see if they're looking to buy any more pieces of vacant land. Go through the criteria, the questions, and then putting on your cash buyers list. You can also use Facebook groups to find vacant land buyers. Now, it's not as good as cold calling the cash sales or calling the builders up, but it's just another way to find cash buyers. Then from there, when we got their buy box, we're gonna start pulling a list. Now, you already have listrei.com, right, to find the buyer, so we're gonna go back into PropStream, aka listrei.com, and just start pulling a list of all the vacant land in your area. Now, remember, this is why your buy box is super important. You wanna be in a high demand location where buyers actually wanna buy. Usually they already told you. So what you wanna do right here, go to PropStream, click on the vacant land, make sure it's in infill lots or any type of property which within the limits that your buyers want to buy in, and just start pulling that list of all the vacant land. And boom, just like that, we have a list from PropStream of all the vacant land that we possibly want. Now, the next step is really dependent and it's really personal on what you want and what type of wholesaling you're looking to do. There's really only 3 ways to go get vacant land deals when it comes to marketing channels. And this is either going to be cold calling, texting, or direct mail. Really, that's pretty much it. So either you're going to cold call the sellers up, you can either text them, or you're gonna send a piece of direct mail or maybe even postcard to people with the vacant land, saying that you're looking to buy some vacant land for cash, you and your partner. Now, really, it's up to you. If you're doing cold calling or SMS text blasting, I do recommend you go skip trace it, find these people's phone numbers. If you have no money, you can use a free skip tracing platform. My 2 favorite ones are truepeoplesearch.com and cyberbackgroundchecks.com, or you can pay for this data and just use listrei.com while you got it right now. Or again, you can go put some postcards out here and actually send some direct mail. Again, I do recommend the ROS postcards that Open Letter Marketing has out. Again, we do teach it in our mailing mastery course inside of freewholesaling.com. But really from there, I don't want to get too complicated. The cold calling script's basically the same. The SMS scripts are the double whammy scripts that are usually the same. And the direct mail is just the regular ROS postcard. The only major crazy difference is we're not saying we're looking to buy a couple houses for cash. We're just saying we're looking to buy some more vacant land for cash or some more land for cash, me and my partner. Then from there, you do the regular process. You call these people up, you meet people, you talk to people that want to sell their land, you meet them at the land, you meet them at the property, you lock up a contract, or you can do it over your phone virtually, and you just start locking up these deals and getting paid. Remember, you're using the same contract and you're using the same title companies as regular houses. The only thing that's different is the way we're marketing and talking to the sellers with this. And really this comes back to the last and probably my favorite part about vacant land wholesaling. I'm talking the seller up, they want to sell their piece of land at 123 Main Avenue. What I'm going to do is call my buyer up instantly and say, hey, I'm actually talking to a seller right now who wants to sell a 1/4 acre lot in Marysville, Tennessee, or whatever it is. How much would you pay for that specific property? And they'll say, hey, I'll probably give you about 25 grand for that 1/4 acre lot. Looks really good. That's what I can pay for it. Okay, perfect. You go there, you talk to the seller. Seller's like, I want to sell it to you for $20,000. You know, I was talking to my partner, he wants to build on that with us. You know, he's probably closer to 15. And you negotiate, you do like 17 grand, and you figure out you can make probably 8 grand from there. Whatever your buyer's price they want to buy it for, that is your MAO, and just get below that price, and then boom, you can make a profit on the deal. Really, the more you complicate this, the less vacant land wholesaling deals you're going to do. Find the buyer, get their buy box, pull the vacant land list, start marketing, bring that deal back to the cash buyer, see what price they want to be at, then go back and lock it up for way below that, do the assignment of contract, and then boom, you're good to go. Do not spend all this time trying to lock it up yourself without talking to the buyer and all these things. You could literally go insane in your head trying to comp vacant land all day. Every single type of vacant land is different. There's so many zoning, soil differences, there's mineral rights and all these crazy things. You're not here to become the vacant land wholesaling expert. Now, once you start making some money, like me, over 6 figures every single year wholesaling vacant land, yes, you can get in that stuff, but just talk to the buyer first and don't complicate this process. And then you should just go out here and start doing it. So what are the first steps? Find that buyer, get the buy box, lock up the deal, pull the lists, and get rich. Guys, if you want to get your first deal in under 2 weeks, you gotta take action, make a consistent schedule. I just gave you everything you need to know about getting your first vacant land deal and start taking some action. If you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, go to freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.